Hello, welcome back, everybody. You're with us with Cape Rugby TV. Every week we're looking at the logs, the scores, the results, and the fixtures here on Cape Rugby TV. Remember, you can find us on www.facebook.com/Cape Rugby TV, where you'll get your weekly updates on results, logs, and fixtures. And of course, you get a chance to enter some of our fantastic competitions, like, for example, the Score Energy Drinks competition, which this last week that we posted is extremely difficult. You're going to be blown away. Well, you would have, of course, had to go to the Facebook page. And of course, last week we gave no clues whatsoever. But now let's go straight away into our second half highlights. Falsebay against the Hamlets. Right, there we go, folks. And just in the dying seconds there of that game, a fantastic example of the Hamlets running rugby and hand skills. Am I right, Jerome?
Yeah, definitely. As we were saying, the first half, I think they were maybe listening to our conversation, because what they've done in the second half is exactly how we know Hamlets can play. So, yeah, I mean, they scored 2 great tries in the second half. And like I said, they didn't make it easy also in the second half for Falsebay at home to just go score. They still continue with their great defense, so that's good.
Yeah. Faisal, your thoughts?
No, I think it was great second half, like Jerome said. I think to be expected from Hamlets. I think from my side, looking at the logs, looking at the results, I think it's good for club rugby. There's no runaway teams as such. It looks like the year has been very interesting. I think from a team perspective, the teams, sort of balanced out. You're not sure who's winning. On a Saturday, anything is possible. So I think it's a good for club rugby.
Well, let's take a look then at some of your results from the weekend in Super League A. And of course, you see there the points went to Hamilton's in the match against UWC. Durban, well, they went down to Villagers, 32 points to 14. Helderberg with a win over Tygerberg, 45-22. Brackenfell went down, at least took a win against Unimil, 18-13, and then Falsebay, 26-13 over Hamlets. Faisal, it's exactly like you said, that's not a runaway score. Falsebay are, of course, they're still the league title holders, they're still the league champions. Hamlets will be proud of that result.
No, definitely. I mean, like you said, they're still the champions. We'll have to wait and see what happens this year. But yeah, I think well done to them. Yeah. Great performance in it.
Jerome, last week we spoke about the match between Durban and Villagers. And the barometer, I think, if I recall correctly, the barometer pointed us in favour of Durban. But Villagers came out guns blazing, and well, to be honest, I expected more from Durban.
Yeah, look, I was at the game Saturday, JP, and Durban was leading. The first half they were leading. They were playing good rugby. The second half, Villagers just keep on playing, and I think a big disappointment for Durban. I think the coaches wasn't happy after the game. The discipline issue, because then Durban forgot to play rugby, and Villagers just continue playing, and Durban started to focus more on the guy, off the ball stuff. So they got a yellow card, a red card, and it's tough to play always with 14 and 13 men against a side like Villagers. And Villagers kept their cool. They had all their players on the field all the time. And it was very disappointing to see how the game ended up. And Durban could have made it a spectacular game, because there was a lot of people coming out. Nice Saturday to watch rugby like that. Wasn't good.
I mean, if we look at the other game that was also a big game this weekend, Helderberg, Tygerberg. And maybe, Faisal, if I bring you into this picture here, Helderberg, Tygerberg, when one looked at that game, it also didn't look like any runaway points there. I mean, Tygerberg really put on a good showing. Is the message going out at the moment? Those top 6, 7 clubs and the top of Super League A are really playing at a high level, and that the games are going to be very tough. Club rugby is starting to look a little bit more like Currie Cup rugby.
No, definitely. I think, in the past you sort of have runaway, teams and points, and you sort of knew who was who. I think this last couple of weeks have shown the uncertainty, very unpredictable. And I think that's what you're looking for when you look at club rugby, looking at teams. You don't want it to be one-sided. And I think, many of the teams that are playing against, they don't take any of the teams for granted. So all in all, I think, yes, Helderberg's had a good season. I think they can be happy, they can be proud. Tygerberg as well. They also had some unpredictable, certain games that you thought they might have lost, and they showed what they're worth. And I think well done. Well done to Helderberg. And
it just goes to show that what I'm seeing here is that whatever happens, your top 6 competition, which is not far away now, is going to be an extremely tough competition. I mean, even as things stand, in fact, we're still looking at that the 9 out of 10, almost 10 of the teams could potentially make it into the top 6. A lot of the clubs still got games in hand. Villagers, even though they're sitting at number 8 on the log, and Durban sitting at 9 on the log, they've got games in hand. Marties is still going to cause an upset, because they've got 5 games in hand. They've got another 9 games to play. They're going to come. It's so unpredictable.
Yeah. I think, JP, like you just said now, the top 10, it's very unpredictable. It's like one game, 5 points makes a huge difference in that there. So I think, the one good thing is that every game is important. There's no sort of, games that's certain and that there. So in that top 4 or 5 positions, you can see everybody has a fair chance of, taking the league. And I think the one thing is it's never been like that. I think we've never had, since I've been at, over 20 years now, that it was very unpredictable. It wasn't, 1 or 2 teams. You're sitting with 4 or 5 teams that can possibly take it. So that's great.
Well, that's kind of, you kind of took the words out of my mouth. I think that's where I was heading, is that this competition really is unpredictable. It's looking now like the top 10. There could be a major shift there. And looking at the Durban Villagers competition that I was just talking to Jerome about, the message is going out that these games going forward is going to be tough across the board.
Yeah, I think, I have plenty of discussions with clubs regarding the format and the competition. And I think if you look at it, JP, the format is probably the best. It gives everybody opportunity. Everybody's still got hope. Everybody's still in it. I think, if you look at the points as well, anybody could win on a particular day. There's been some argument about, unfair number 1 and 2 automatically 3 and 4. But if you look at it, position 3, 4, 5, and 6, it's just 1 or 2 points. So it doesn't. I mean, if you have uncertainty of number 4 or 5 coming in, it's not. It's not a surprise, I would think, because the points are so close.
Everything is close. Everything is close. I mean, folks, we're going to take a break. When we come back, we're going to take a look at the logs, and you'll see exactly how close it is, because it was not so long ago that we had 2 teams on the same amount of log points, same amount of points difference, and it was only the tries telling the difference, essentially. But we'll talk more about that after the break. Don't go away.